Poor Keir Starmer. His posh lunch in Liverpool was disrupted by a group of pensioners who protested him over his empty promises, broken promises, and betrayal of the working classes. Imagine if you're the leader of the Labour Party and you go to your heartland in Liverpool and you get confronted by a group of pensioners, and a number of them were socialist pensioners and members of the Labour Party as well, because you've broken your promises, and part of the reason was the pledges, the 10-point pledges that he had, including nationalising every single thing that you could see. He's now made U-turns, and also the way, especially from the hard left side who were there, saying the way he mistreated not just Jeremy Corbyn, but also the other Corbyn supporters who he's kicking out. And apparently he's been talking to the Sun. Now, don't talk to the Sun and then go to Liverpool the next day, because that's not really a good sign. You're going to get confronted. So you wonder why this happened.
I'm enjoying that, so... What? Doing interviews for the Sun.
Audrey, what did you say?
I said, how dare he come to this city after Hillsborough and after him doing interviews for the Sun. It's an absolute disgrace to have anything to do with that newspaper after the lies they told about people in our city, the disgusting paper that it is. I also said about the health service. You're overseeing the health service being dismantled. You're doing a lot to keep Boris Johnson in power. You've brought about the biggest witch hunt that anybody has ever had. I've been a member of the Labour Party, and I'm still a member of the Labour Party, and that he's just been expelling people by the tens of thousands, because all of us, we all flocked to the Labour Party under Corbyn, and you've destroyed, you lied about you're going to keep the 10 pledges. You were dishonest when you stood. You said you were going to unite the party, and you haven't. And I said everything as much as I could do.
Did you see his speech this morning?
Did I see his speech? Not at all. I was too busy plotting.
I caught a little bit, and oh my gosh, it was exactly as bad as it.
Oh dear, yeah, she was too busy plotting this event. I mean, it's embarrassing. They talk about blue on blue right now with Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak, which is kind of embarrassing. But when you're in government, party in government, that happens all the time, because there's more stuff at stake. But at the same time, the Labour Party are worse. It's not just red on red. The left always end up eating itself. We always say this on this channel. And it's another perfect example of one side of the party say Starmer and his leadership, the problem is they're not left-wing enough. And every time they lose an election, they say that was the problem, so let's pick another, more of a left-wing leader. And that's how he won, because his platform, when he stood for party leadership, he stood on a very left-wing platform. He was basically saying, I'm keeping all Corbyn policies, but I'm just going to change the rhetoric and language. Then he managed to alienate the Blairites, and he also managed to alienate the Corbynistas by kicking him out and changing the policies. He didn't really go full on Blairite or New Labour. He didn't really go left-wing. I'm not really sure what he is. It's not even that kind of so-called centrist that they talk about, which doesn't really exist in British politics. The whole thing is completely crazy, and they're losing support in the middle of a chaos for the Tory party and Tory government, who should be going down, like logically speaking. They should be in more of a trouble. Yet, the Labour Party keeps scoring own goals. This is the state of the country, ladies and gentlemen, but we can't really rely on the political system to be our saviour, and we should never do that. We should give power to the people, and all of us. Grassroots campaigns are the only way to go, and that's why I'm organising my grassroots campaigns and tour around the country called Build Back Britain, to fight against globalism and socialism and the whole of the establishment that has been letting us down with their over-promises, not just broken promises, and the whole chaos of crowd control. This is the reality, and we're going to do this. The merchandise, by the way, as I always say, the link is in the description if you want to check it out. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.